Hey guys, it's Scott from Horse Racing Daily, and today's video is going to be on the Salvator Mile for this weekend, and it also marks the return of Hot Rod Charlie, who, is best remembered for being on the Kentucky Derby Trail last year. Did pretty good. He, won the Louisiana Derby, got bumped up to second in the Kentucky Derby. Actually ran third, but with Medina Spirit getting just the win taken away, it bumped him up to second. Then he ran a good second in the Belmont, where he kind of did all the dirty work and essential quality, caught him on the money. And then he got, first on the Pennsylvania Derby, pick up his first grade one win. So this has been a pretty solid horse. And now he's turning to 4 years old, won at Maiden on, back in February, got second at the Dubai World Cup at, March. And this is Marcus' return. And, on paper, he looks like he should, beat this field. And, here's the, race. It's a two-turn, race on dirt. And, you got Mind Control in the race, who's, been a pretty solid, sprint horse. But you have to wonder what he's going to do going from, one turn to, now two turns. How far does he want, really want to go as he's, primarily been a sprinter. And you also got in this race Cheryl Spate, who, is a grade one winner, but it came on the turf in the Maker's Mark Mile at Keeneland. And this horse, started picking up a lot of steam in the, winter months, particularly, December, January, February. And, I wonder if this horse is maybe starting to go a little off form or, like you look back in April, this horse won a grade one on turf and, all of a sudden he's over here on dirt and just kind of, you see things like that and just kind of questions you why they're, over there. Like I would think they'd keep the horse on turf, but yeah, maybe the horse has been working out good on dirt and they're just, taking a shot. I know the owner, Charles Fitke, is not afraid to, take some shots with his horses. He gets a share of long shots in there. But it does make you wonder. And uh, for a long shot that I kind of like in this race, I like Helium. He's also turned into a 4 year old. And he won the Tampa Derby last year and then had that gap off between the Tampa Derby and Kentucky Derby, which is, a pretty substantial gap. I think it's almost 2 months. And, he ran eight, but that's kind of the expected first race in, 2 months. And even after he won the Tampa Derby, he still wasn't really considered the top, top of the top. And, then ran a, third in the Matt win. You would expect more out of that effort just because that's the second race off the, layoff and, the field is much weaker. But nonetheless, he didn't get the job done. Then, they tried him on the turf and, uh, different things. But he's been doing a little bit better on synthetic the last couple races. And you can see by the stretch call of some of the races he's got, he was in first. He, jumped up to first in the optional claiming race and then, gave out. And then, he did the same thing in the next race, going a mile and 16th. So I think this horse has quietly, shown that he's got some improvement form, especially over the synthetic. And the last time he went from synthetic to dirt, he ran really good on the Tampa Derby. So at 8-1, and the odds probably jump up to double digit, just because it's non-stakes races, and he's very tempting for me, as a long shot play because you got a Hot Rod Charlie who on paper looks like he should beat this field, but at the same time he is very vulnerable just because some horses need that race when they come back from overseas, and he could end up needing that race. And because of the name and being recognized on the Derby Trail and winning a Grade One race last year, he's gonna take more money than just off the name alone, and that's gonna kill a lot of the value. So you certainly have to respect him from a win bet perspective. But I'm gonna personally try to look for a little bit of a price in this race, and Helium is kind of the horse I've settled on. And you also have the Fat Man in this race, and the Fat Man just always seems to, he's not spectacular. He just shows up and runs a solid race. When you put him against weaker competition, he'll occasionally get the win, but when he jumps up, he often struggles. But I'm going to play against him here. But, if he somehow snuck up and won the race, it wouldn't surprise me either because he's just been known to, do that from time to time. But like I said, for the race, you need to, certainly respect Hot Rod Charlie. If he stays at 4-5 or drops to 3-5, he's not going to see my money. But I think the odds will maybe stay about where his morning line is, just because you got, Cheryl Spate's probably going to take some interesting money. And, Mind Control is also a horse that has some name recognition that will also, end up taking some money. But my long shot play is going to be Helium. And thanks, guys, for watching. More videos to come.